Okay, hey, whoa. Cut that phone off. We're back. This is the next episode 7. We're back for another week of funny stuff.
Big funny.
This is CicadaCast, also known as the Skinny Malone and the Gang podcast on Spotify, which we're on. Brought to you by Cicada Studios. My name is Danny.
Rock, paper, scissors to see who announces themselves
Yep.
first.
They're doing a rock, paper, scissors.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Dennis.
Steven, make that funny.
Good luck, Steven.
Yeah, good luck, Steven. How you boys doing this week? I'm doing good. I got a Coca-Cola.
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
I might.
The NBA Finals is this week, so that's what I'm hyped about.
I don't watch that.
To date this week. Just so they know.
To
fans.
date this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when this comes out next week, and I say the NBA Finals starts, and it's already started, don't comment.
Oh, so
the
technically
Nuggets won.
Technically, it's the week next week then.
Wait, yeah, this episode, but the NBA Finals started when we're recording, but we're behind because we
That makes
backlog.
Yeah.
We waterlog.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just took a nice sip of my Coca-Cola. Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. I want to start this episode off with a story
Aight.
that I thought about when we were in the we were getting lunch. So this was in like 6th or 7th grade, maybe even 5th. I don't know, I don't remember. But we had this like vacation. We had this field trip where we went to another school because we were doing like a pen pal thing that whole year.
I did something like that at my school.
And then I think if we like were on good behavior, they would take us to see who we were pen paling.
They take you to like a jail.
So why would they take you to jail, Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon, you got something to say
No,
about that?
it's all the students, not just Danny.
All the
You said you.
yeah.
Well, I meant you as a collective.
I mean your kind. They yeah, I went to the school and we walked into the classroom and everything was cool, and I met my pen pal. I think he was a guy named Howie. So Howie, if you're listening, you were cool. He liked to draw too, so we clicked instantly. But then we went to lunch, and I started getting a vibe that the school was was pretty chaotic. The lunchroom was very intense. There was of course the guy making the beat on the table, but like when you're in 5th grade, that's like some jailhouse shit. So like when you're in 5th grade, it's like, what's that 9-year-old been through, you know? So like that was weird, and there was kids screaming, and yeah, I just didn't. And like, and then we went back to class, and then we were gonna do something, but I had to use the bathroom, and I was nervous because 1, I hated using the bathroom at school, and 2,
Fair.
I was in a new school with new people, and I didn't want to like meet somebody in the bathroom and have to like make eye contact with someone while I'm peeing. So teacher's like, yeah, the bathrooms, go out, take a left, and it's like, and take another left, and then it's like right there. And I was like, okay. So I did that. And like something weird happened in the hallway, but I forgot. It was some kid being like scolded by his teacher, and the kid was just like shaking. He was like red. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, okay. I'm getting a little nervous. I'm just getting a little nervous, okay? And then I walked in. No, before I got in the bathroom, it smelled like an absolute sewer was down that hall. And I was like, fuck.
That's pretty bad when you smelling it down the hall.
Well, it was like it was kind of like from here to the entrance to the studio, like that entrance. So
That's a good 20
so
feet.
like it was pretty close. Well, yeah, but it was like it was pretty far. I mean,
Yeah.
and I could smell it. And I was like, oh my fucking god. And I stood outside for a little bit because I was really nervous when I was a kid about like talking to new people. And then I got up the courage, and I turned around and walked in the bathroom. I don't know why, but there was this kid who had his stall open, and he This is exactly what was happening. He was like sitting on the toilet, and like the stall was supposed to be open, so the toilet was like facing the entrance, and what I heard was, and I was like, oh shit.
And you just had it open?
Dude. So I think I remember him being in uniform, so I think this was middle school. So I think it was like 6th grade or 7th grade. Kid.
Just imagining the agony they were feeling.
The kid was like, he was like on the
like white knuckle grip in his leg.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what he was doing.
He didn't know the take your shirt off hack yet.
He was like gripping the toilet tissue. He was like gripping that, and he was legitimate. He was going like, I heard him go like, and he was like, and then he looked at me. I looked at him.
What if he looked at you and he said, Danny, I've been waiting on you. Like just completely stoic.
That would have actually been better.
Oh my god.
Because he looked at me and he was like, stop.
Oh my god.
Now keep in mind, I'm in a whole different school, okay? I'm in a whole new school. I didn't know this kid. I'd never seen this kid. I was already nervous going to the bathroom. And this kid was fucking empty in his stomach. And he was like, ah. Because what was funny was he was shitting so hard. He didn't even notice I walked in for like 2 seconds. And then he looked at me and he was like, stop. And then, so I wanted to say I'm sorry, I'll leave, but all I said was and then I turned around and I walked out, and I heard that teacher still yelling at the other student. So I was like, should I tell them, or like, but then I was like, no, that's too scary. So then I thought I had the idea, which would be more scary now. I like creep into the girls' bathroom, and I was like, is anyone in here? And like I looked around, no one was in there, and I just ran to the stall really quickly, pissed, and ran out. And I could still smell the kid.
I wonder what he ate, bro.
I don't know.
Them school lunches, man.
It
Can't
was
trust
just
that shit.
the sheer pain. This kid, like his hair was like matted to his forehead. He was sweating. His face was red, and he was just gripping that fucking toilet paper. And yeah, that was terrifying. And I walked back to the class, and they were singing some song. The whole class was just singing some song, and I was like, okay. I just went back to my desk. Me and Howie talked about Transformers.
You think that kid lived?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
It's that he was never seen again. I don't know. Maybe JCS will do a fucking video about him.
He left a voicemail. Sorry.
Oh,
That's. See, I wish I had something similar like that shit happen to me. The closest thing we had
I
was
hated
that,
it when it happened to
that
me.
shit would have been fucking hilarious, dude. Like, the closest thing we had happen to us at our school.
If I would have
or,
known
like,
the kid, it would have been
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah, 100%. Like, closest thing we had in our high school, we were only like 100, 200 students, right? And our high school was merged with the middle school. So we knew the bathrooms, we had to share them with the middle schoolers. Some fucking devious little shit came in out of nowhere, fucking slapped a hot dookie into the fucking urinal. We're like, what the fuck? He just left it in there. Somebody took a picture, and we had Google Photos as the thing back, like to save everything. He just had a fucking
I
picture
want to
there.
remember this
under-
moment.
He had it saved under his fucking school email because we had that shit too.
What a dumb
We're
fuck.
like, what the fuck, dude? It's just there. You just see the hot dookie just in the urinal. That's the closest thing that happened.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Man, so you see why I wanted to save that story.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you said that, when you told the story about how you shit farted in front of your coworker, that made me think of that story. It was like locked away. 'Cause I was so scared. It's just like you walk in here and you're already expecting the worst, and then the worst actually happens. I don't know why that kid didn't. I don't know why the stall wasn't closed.
He just had to get his pants down. Dude. The door was out of his mind.
It was just stop. But yeah, that was funny. That was a fun little story time I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that kid is alive, and I hope he listens to this podcast. And he's like, that was you. You walked. Buddy was empty in his fucking stomach by the fucking quart full. A quart a second. He was empty. But
oh my god,
that is not all I also wanted to talk about. I Dennis is like, that was me. I was the little boy.
It's all come full circle. He'd block that out of his memory because of the trauma, but he just unlocked it.
A tear falls from his face. He looks at me and he's like, stop! Okay. What's going on, Dennis?
I'm laughing right now, man. Shit. I don't know, man.
Dennis does this shit, dude. When we were in college together, he would just get the giggles. Remember when we made that one joke when we were all three sitting next to each other, and he started laughing, and we just wouldn't fucking stop. I think it was in the back of Mr. T's class, not the celebrity, but I don't want to expose his name. Mr. T.
Oh, that okay. I was so confused. I'm like,
Nah, big shout out, Mr. T.
Mr. Whips and Chain.
That shit was out of pocket.
I think that's the thing that he was laughing at.
Probably.
We made this joke in the back of class, and he just would not stop doing this. It just broke him. I don't think he's on Earth anymore.
No, I'm far out of it right now. Just skip me.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Wow. Some ASMR for you.
I watched
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man Quantumania, not in the Wasp.
No, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, yeah,
Right.
True. My review of it. I'm going to give my review. Ignore the laughing monkey in the background. That's just our pet monkey. He's hungry, so we haven't fed him yet. So I have problems with this movie, but it's really like my problem with the like Marvel as a whole of recent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do like a 5-minute spoiler free. My rating is like a 6 out of 10. It was a 5, but it went up. I think 5 is a little too harsh. I expected a 2 because the internet made me think this was like
The worst thing
the
ever
worst
conceived.
thing ever made. Yeah. So like, okay, spoiler free. I guess we'll talk about the overall problem with Marvel first to avoid spoilers. I think these movies just don't feel important. Like, what really happened in this movie? Like, and this is all in the trailer. So like, Scott and his daughter and his girlfriend or his wife, Hope.
Something like that.
And old Hank Pym go into the quantum realm. I mean the quantum whatever dimension.
Quantum realm.
Because they can't call it that for some reason, right?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was just quantum realm the whole time.
They go quantum. They get real small, and then a bad guy shows up, and then they leave, and
Yeah, 5 out of 10. Right there.
nobody will literally ever know what happened. But like, I feel like after Iron Man 1, in like the first phase, everything felt important. Like Iron Man 2 felt kind of important
Mm-hmm.
because you got Black Widow, which showed that there's other superheroes, which Nick Fury told him there was other superheroes in the first one.
Yeah.
So you're seeing it. Thor was big, important, because it was fucking Thor. And Captain America was big because after his movie, they were like, and Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it felt big. So, like, in technically 3, but in 4 movies, we got Avengers. But, like, this phase, like, Shang-Chi's a valet. And, you know, the Wakandans are holding a funeral. Ant-Man is writing a book.
Yeah, he wrote a book after Endgame, pretty much saying, like, we're just gonna go straight into fucking spoiler territory. The movie came out February.
Yeah, I'll do spoilers after this. Rhodes is doing whatever the fuck he's doing. Captain America's in New York beating up some thugs. And it's like, okay.
No,
but like, what's
I
happening?
guess now Falcon, Captain America.
Yeah, but it's like, what is like nothing's moving the plot along. Like, I feel like something needs to happen, and I thought this movie would be it, but it wasn't.
It's been a long build up because I think with like the first couple phases, like every like there was a lot more, we'll say, sprinkle of like Thanos throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Knowing that he was coming, knowing that you're
because in
building
Age of
up
Ultron,
the stones and
they
all that
teased it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was like a lot of sprinkles after all that. Now here it's just like,
And the Tesseract and the Infinity Stones were getting dropped, and you're like, oh well, the Gauntlet's coming soon, and who has the Gauntlet? Thanos. But like,
with like this, then again, we only just started like this whole Phase 5 thing.
have we? Well, yeah,
because technically
Phase 4 ended.
Yeah, the last thing in that phase was
But what
Black
happened
Panther.
in Phase 4? What? All
I'm
that
thirsty.
All that laughing got my throat dry.
I honestly don't remember. Well, because
We got a
Phase 4
prequel
was
with
like
Black Widow.
Endgame and all that stuff.
Phase 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Phase
okay,
4
okay.
ended with, I think it was either Black Panther. Yeah,
Black Widow?
Black Panther or No Way Home. It was one of those two.
Phase 4 ended with that?
Yeah.
I thought Phase 4
And then
ended.
Phase 5 is what we're in now,
Okay.
which is like the multiverse stuff. But like Spider-Man gave like a hint of all that multiverse stuff, and then became a little more official in Loki. And then
I guess we can move into spoilers now. So the movie starts, and I already checked out because there's a huge problem with these new movies, and I'll get into some sketchy ideas, but just bear with me. I think so the movie starts. Scott has a book. He's a normal guy. Hope is a businesswoman. She took over AIM, and she's doing like PIM Tech or Von Dyke Tech. Von Dying Tech.
It was Pim something.
Pimp my ride.
Hope something. Yeah.
PEMDAS.
Yeah. So things are going good, and Scott's daughter, who's a new girl, but don't worry about that. She's recasted, but she just built a gateway to the quantum realm in her basement.
She's just like her dad in terms of like going to jail and shit.
Except she's way cooler,
she's like completely smarter
and way smarter,
Yeah.
and capable of basically
Building.
what Tony Stark couldn't do in Iron Man 1 and 2
Yeah.
and 3. So
She
isn't
built
she
it in,
just
like,
so cool and epic? Wow. Same thing in Wakanda Forever when they went to go find a college kid in a dorm, and she's like, "Oh, I built Stark Tech and I sell it to the kids. I sell it to the
literally,
other students." Yeah.
did what Iron Man did in 3 movies.
So you know, Brandon's not familiar with Marvel, but
I've seen some Marvel stuff.
but you know, Tony Stark is like a genius. Like he's
Yeah,
one
I
of the
think-
smartest men
I
in
think
the
I've
Marvel
seen all the
universe.
Iron Man and Captain America movies.
So he's super smart, right? And it takes him like whole movies to make like a new element for his suit, or to make a time machine, right?
Yeah.
This college kid just like built Stark Tech from the ground up in her dorm,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Yeah, I just make this," and it's like,
And she has her own garage where she has a fucking antique fucking car, and guess
yeah, and a
what?
fucking like
She's
AI
got a
controlled.
whole fucking like drone thing
It's
that
like-
she built already.
It's
You wouldn't even still be in college at that point. Like
Yeah.
there was no need for college to begin with. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like Marvel's doing this thing where like,
wow,
They're-
this gifted kid.
yeah, like they're doing this thing where like they're taking because all the older actors are getting older and their contracts are going up. So like they need to replace them, but they're not doing it gracefully. You know, they're just showing like, this is the new character, and they're 10 times better than Tony Stark. This is the new Captain America, and he did some backflips in his backyard twice, and now he has wings and a Captain America suit.
I think with Falcon, though, I think it was an easier, better introduction to him being Captain America.
Yeah, because he deserved it.
Like,
I think.
hey, look, Iron Man is now Iron Heart, and now, like they did it like that. They never teased her. They never did anything. They had a build up for Falcon.
Yeah, I agree. And then they're like. Yeah, this new girl in her dorm who's like probably 17 is the new Tony Stark. Get with it. Mm-hmm. This new girl that made a quantum realm thing in her basement that not even fucking Hank Pym made. She did it. Get with it. And I feel like there's two problems. One, sometimes you have to like agree with people that you disagree with. Yeah. You know. The first problem is that they are kind of like making these new characters, and they're like, I'm better than the one you're used to, and the one you're used to is a white male. I will say they are doing like the Scott Lang sucks, but his daughter's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Tony Stark sucks, but this girl is cool, and it's kind of like.
I feel like they're just doing.
But like Tony Stark is like a pretty cool dude, though. Yeah. Like, can we not just like?
It feels like with all these characters.
So with Scott Lang, like I feel like she was literally saying in the movie, like Hope was his daughter. She was literally
The Hope is the girlfriend. His
Hope
daughter is Cassie.
Yeah, she was literally saying in the movie, she was like, "Wow, Dad, you're just not really doing things as cool as you used to be." And Scott was like, "The fuck? The guy saved the universe. Yeah. What are you talking about?" And then she was like, "Yeah, but like." But like you're not as cool anymore. And he was like, and like now she's like a burglar or like a kleptomaniac like he is.
She does a lot of protesting. Is one of the big things. Like she tries to help people who didn't get help, I guess, in some sort of way.
And like people can call that woke or whatever. I don't think that's that bad. Like whatever, she's doing whatever. But like her like literally telling Scott like you're not really that cool anymore. Her own fucking dad. While she's doing the same shit he's doing, but better. Because, you know, Scott went to jail, but she hasn't yet. Because she's just smarter than he is.
But she has went to jail.
Yeah, twice. for like 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds.
Where Scott was in for like years, wasn't he? In the first one? When he got out?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's like...
Okay. Like, she's building a reputation with that. Either ways. But.
It's just... I do feel what some people are saying, where it's like... It kind of feels like they're taking the old characters and saying like you're not as cool, but I am, and it's like no, they were pretty cool. I feel like we can say like Tony Stark was cool. That's why Ironheart is obsessed with his tech. Mm-hmm. Scott is a pretty cool dad because she loved him in the first movie. She was like, "Oh my God, Dad, you got out of jail. Thanks for the birthday present." But now she's like, "Yeah, fuck you, Dad. Wait, shit, bitch." And it's like, I mean, Scott's a pretty cool dad. I don't know. Like imagine if in God of War 2, technically the reboot, if Atreus just stayed in that, why are we running? You're a coward. I'll never forgive you. You suck. And then Kratos is like, okay, but like, come on, that's your fucking dad. Like he kept you alive. Like even Atreus was like, yeah, okay, that's my fucking dad. He kept me alive, sure. So that's kind of cringe. I hate the like this new character is like 100% better than the first one. It's kind of like how Goten went Super Saiyan out of fucking nowhere, just mid training when Gohan was training him. And it's like, I think Toriyama was like, well, it's because if you go Super Saiyan, then the genes you pass down, they have more high likelihood to go Super Saiyan. And it's like, okay, sure, dude, sure, who cares? So I was already kind of checked out. It was kind of okay. She's gonna be the new Ant Woman, I guess, and she's gonna be cooler than her mom, cooler than her dad. Capable of anything. Kamala Khan. She's going to be no struggle, just win everything at 4 years old, whatever. But then the movie starts, and like the second problem is I didn't like the quantum realm. I didn't like it. I figured it'd be kind of cooler. In the first, was it the first or second movie where they went in it for a little bit? The quantum realm.
It was the second one because they want to go save her mother.
Yeah.
But
It
like
looked kind of different in that one, didn't it?
yeah, they gave an explanation.
Like
I
it
can't
was
remember
kinda,
what it was, but Hank was like, "Oh, but this looks completely different than when I went." But then his wife is like, "Oh, you just didn't go far enough." Because
Yeah.
I guess there's like a whole other level to it.
Yeah, and
Excuse
like,
me.
it looked kind of like, it gave me kind of like Star Wars vibes, where there's like a bar and there's like this alien guy there, and like everyone
Yeah.
looks like aliens and everything's alien. And look at this ship, you control it with the gooey hands.
I will say the one
It's
thing
so
I did
like,
like.
okay, I get it, it's different, but like, why the fuck would the quantum realm have like gooey like? It's just kind of quirky. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like raw XD. Like it's just kind of wow. And then this guy has 3 mouths. This guy looks like broccoli.
Well, because I guess the idea
Laugh.
is just like it's as small as like bacteria or something. I don't know. I don't know. Something
coulda
like that.
said it
Because like
was
you would see like.
Quarky instead of
One thing I did like though was the little like nod to Endgame, where like you'd see the Infinity Stones there.
Oh yeah.
Because in that movie, in Endgame, Thanos was like, "Oh yeah, I like destroyed the stones and reduced them to atoms." And sure enough, you see all the Infinity Stones at the size of what an atom would be, and they're just there, like what's the word? They're a conscious being, whatever the fucking term is.
Conscious being.
What's the fucking term? They're like, they know what the fuck
They're
is going.
sentient?
Sentient. There
Oh,
we go.
okay.
Fuck, I'm stupid. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like the way it looked. I kind of figured it would look kind of. It just looked like green screen, to be honest.
Yeah.
And there was like a roof to it. Like it felt like there was like the top of the quantum realm. Like it felt like they were in a room. You know, like there was like 4 walls and a roof. It just felt kind of like that doesn't really fit. Like, but anyway, yeah, I didn't like the way it looked. The mom was dumb. Just tell them what you're trying to hide. It was one of those things where it was like, we can't be here. Why? I can't explain. We have to go now. And she did that for like 3 scenes.
And she explains it when they're getting their ass fucked.
Yeah,
kicked, pretty much.
when Kang the Conqueror is
Like-
throwing photon beams up Scott Lang's butt.
Booty hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I censored myself, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh, by the way, Scott, he was a guy and I trusted him and he bad. And meanwhile, Scott's
it
like
turns
has
out I
like 3
touched his
teeth
chair,
left.
read his mind. His fucking mind is literally riddled with fucking war and him killing people. I didn't want to tell you though till you started getting your ass whooped.
And
Like what the fuck?
it's just like convenient plot shit. Like the
So,
guy.
like, what did she ever like give any type of reasoning for why
No.
she couldn't tell him?
No, she just was
No.
not. She just wasn't ready.
Yeah, she's just like, no, you can't know what's down there.
It was
It's-
literally that trope.
yeah.
Like, she just didn't tell them. And then when Scott and them are like going to like go even more smaller, he's like helping get the thing for
Yeah.
Kang. Now she's like, okay, now I'll tell you guys. When we're in the same ship on the same trip, I'll just randomly tell you now, so that I can say it alongside little bad
like,
scenes
before
of
that,
Kang.
they were getting attacked at the bar because one of the people she knew from when she was trapped there for like 30 plus years turned on her because he thought that she turned on him, blah blah blah. They get attacked, they run away. During that scene, Ant-Man is getting told that he has to follow Kang's orders. If not, he'll kill his daughter. He starts using the Force on them, pretty much pinning them to the wall and all this and that. And then he's literally, like he said, going smaller than what they usually go, I guess, or even smaller than what they are, to go and like pull off this fucking stunt where I think it was like the realm of possibilities or something like
Yeah.
that, where literally any possibility you can think of will like just spawn in front of you.
Which that looked way cooler in the comics
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And so like,
That didn't look good. It was just a black void.
yeah.
It's kind of lazy.
So like, you know, yeah, that whole thing, millions of Ant-Mans pop up, blah blah blah. As all that's happening, then the mom's like, yeah, so I met Kang when he crash landed into the quantum realm. And like I helped him build his ship because his ship is what lets him travel the multiverse. And then she's like, I saw a bunch of war, he was killing people, going off on different fucking universes.
When you got me out of the quantum realm, I didn't tell you guys
Yeah.
this though.
She's just like, pretty much her reasoning was that she was just like too scared of it. She just didn't want to remember anything about it.
After Thanos did what he did.
But she wasn't there for that.
Yeah, but like,
She was in that realm for even after.
but for
Thanos
us
and
though, it's
before.
like,
yeah,
we
that too.
saw like he can't like, okay, is he gonna end the universe? Okay,
Mhm.
stop him. That's what you think. But anyway, so like that was pretty bad. The comedy wasn't My girlfriend thought it was. She thought it was pretty funny. I didn't really like it.
There wasn't
that much.
many. They really
The guy-
tried with MODOK.
The pink guy that was like, "Oh, do you have holes? I have
Oh, that
holes."
guy.
That was
Yeah.
it. Wasn't really that fun. MODOK. Listen, I've heard.
I'm
So
showing MODOK.
I know
So
what
I
that
wanna-
is.
No, but in the movie.
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah.
this isn't really a call out, but I heard from another podcast that does this stuff that they were like, well, they made MODOK. Well, he looks ugly, but MODOK is supposed to look ugly because
Yeah.
he's ugly.
He's literally just a big head with small.
But that's not the problem.
What the fuck?
That's not the problem. The problem isn't that Darren Cross looks ugly. The
Mhm.
problem was that the CGI looked bad.
Yeah.
He didn't look ugly.
It looked
He
like
looks
that
fake.
fucking
Yeah.
Spy Kid 3D George Lopez
For
scene,
real.
or like they had
He
his
should've-
fat head on that.
He should have had most most of the movie. He should have had the
The cover,
helmet on,
yeah, the helmet.
and then like just save like a little 1 minute scene at the end, so you can put all your CGI budget on that to
Yeah.
make him look better. Because when he had the thing on, where he looked more like the traditional MODOK, that looked good. It looked like a solid gold
Yeah.
little.
This is what he came. This was how he first got shown off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that looks better, and like his mouth doesn't move because it's like a mask. But I think that's kind of menacing and evil looking, whatever. I think that
Yeah.
looked good. He should have stayed like that for the whole movie. But like for like 90% of the movie, he's like the face dude. And it's
Yeah.
like it just looks so bad.
And there was that unnecessary scene where they try to make MODOK funny because MODOK he's
I
a
don't-
stupid character.
What?
And there's at end of Ant-Man 1, because the guy gets shrunk down, gets saved by Kang, and they start building him up like Darth Vader pretty much. They had to drag him out of this weird pool thing, and you just see tiny ass ash cheeks for some reason. Okay.
I was thinking about the scene where at the end, Cassie's like, "Why are you being
Oh,
such a dick?" And he was like, "I don't want to be a dick. Why
I didn't
am
like
I a
that scene.
dick?" What the fuck? And then Cassie was like, "Yeah, sometimes you're a dick." And he was like, "Oh," and it's like,
Just try not being a dick, and then runs away. It's like, what the fuck? There was so much unnecessary.
because she's
things.
so cool, Dennis.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
why
She's too cool.
she can talk no jutsu, MODOK into submission, because that's
And
how
he did.
cool she is.
He's like, oh man, I should try to be good, you know.
And it's just
Kang gets fucking eaten alive
Okay,
by ants.
okay,
and,
one.
And
there's two issues with that. One, MODOK, Darren Cross he's not an idiot.
yeah.
But MODOK was stupid in this movie. When he got shrunk down, did he get stupid? Like, why is he like, I don't want to be a dick? Like, this
Yeah.
man had his own like tech billionaire business, and he was like an evil Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, and he was like, I'm smart, and I built the Pimtech by myself, and I'm super smart and a businessman. He was like intimidating. Like he walked in the room when Hope and Scott were there, and like he knew Hope was there, but he didn't want to say anything because like he was a villain. He was intimidating.
Yeah.
He was one dimensional, but he was still at least a villain. But in this movie, he's like, I'm so dumb, right? Because Kang is the villain for this movie, so I can't also be like mean because he needs to be the big bad. So
yeah.
I got to be even more one-dimensional because Kang is the bad guy and he's barely two-dimensional. So it was just like, why is he so stupid? Like Darren is a smart guy.
Yeah.
I just didn't get it. And then my next problem is that if they're in the quantum realm, why don't they just grow? Because if you're that small, you can just get humongous in that realm, because if you're the size of a molecule, you're too big to even see at that point. So like when Ant-Man was fighting Kang, he could have just got like the size of Big Zam from fucking Gundam and just because you're that small when your normal size is like a 5'10" dude, so you can just grow really big, which is still small, and then just crush Kang because he's powerful, but you can just crush him.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably would have did some like oh, I'm super strong,
Kang
but
would have
like
probably just not been affected by that.
but when him and Cassie grew, she was like I feel so big, and it's like, do you?
Yeah.
Because you're quantum. Why do you feel big? What about like if you shrink? Yeah, you're like like you're like your scale, as in like your relation to how big thing is around you, it changes, but like your actual size is still small. Like your scale is small. Your scale is like normal size because you didn't like change proportions, but your size is tiny. You're tiny.
Right.
So like when she grew big and like her metabolism grew and she was like, ugh, and then she passed out, you're smaller than a quark.
Yeah, you would think that they wouldn't have that same. The same effects they'd have in their normal size above the quantum realm.
Yeah.
In the quantum realm.
And like her footsteps was like, doom, doom, doom. But it's like,
well, I guess that part of it's just to emphasize the fact that they're big.
But like, they're not. They're just like, that didn't make any sense. I just felt like they needed Kang to be strong in that realm, which he probably isn't. If Ant-Man's in that realm, if it was like Spider-Man or some shit, because Spider-Man can't grow, but Ant-Man's power is he literally grows.
Yeah.
So but so that was dumb. And then when we get to Kang, what did you think of Kang as a villain?
I think the actor for Kang was good. That's a whole other story there.
Yeah.
As a villain, I feel like they kind of still held him back a little.
Yeah, he felt kind of
like,
neutered, right?
You know,
like he didn't really feel.
There was that whole scene. He was just boxing the fuck out of Ant-Man, just knocking him down.
Yeah.
And then he just gets pushed, and then I lost. Like,
and it's like he puts Cassie and Scott in a jail cell and like tortures them.
That part I liked because he did feel a little menacing.
Bro, Kang would have just
tell
me what the fuck the shit is.
Right.
You're not gonna tell me?
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's weird for him to be like do like a Loki mind trick where it's like, tell me how do I make it? Yeah. I'll kill your daughter. I'll do it. Like Kang would have got the information and then killed his daughter, because like Kang is like pure evil.
Yeah. Like
Kang
maybe they
like,
just didn't want to do like a whole Thanos repeat where Thanos, when he first came into like Infinity War,
well, like that's what I'm talking
and just
about.
Snapped Loki's neck there because he betrayed him.
Like make him the Thanos, you dumb fuck. Like make him the Thanos, but then let him live and get out. So now he's out, and now they got to be like, oh well, that's the new threat. Like the like pure evil just got out of the quantum realm with his powers, and now he's just about.
But they're also probably just thinking about how they're gonna build him up for the next 2-3 years worth of movies.
I mean, I'm not Kevin Feige, but I felt like that would have been a way to do it, because like now it's gonna be like, oh, I'm another Kang, and it's like, like this Kang has enough like backstory to build him up to be the big bad, you know. Like he gets in he goes back to like the normal world, and like his wife and kids aren't there. Like they died or something. So
I don't even
like,
think he has wife and kids.
What, didn't he have like people to get back to or something like that?
Well, no, because I think the idea was that he was just one. He's just one person. Oh, okay. Right. Well, but the thing is, there's multiple Kangs out there. That was the whole like ending to it.
I guess it
was like the whole like they brought every single Kang known to existence. So I think what he meant by people he had to go to were the people who exiled him to the quantum realm.
Okay, that makes sense.
So like he can whoop their ass.
So I guess like, well, like he gets out then, and he's like, oh well, I gotta go back to them or something, or like I gotta get them out, or he's like, I had a reason but I forgot it. Like he gets out and he's like, whatever, I'm evil. I'm gonna do some bad shit. But like, I heard that he like in the original script he wasn't supposed to die. And Scott and Hope were supposed to get stuck in the quantum realm, because that scene was weird. It wasn't it when they were like they had beat up Kang, and like he died, and then like they just kind of stood there while the portal closed, and they were just like standing there, kind of like they were accepting like, fuck, well we're not getting out, but Cassie made it out because Scott was like, is Cassie okay? And then Hope was like crying. She was like, she's okay, but she didn't say they were okay. Which I thought was like, oh, okay.
Now, people are assuming he's not that specific one. Just because, you know, there's always that theory within movies that the person isn't really dead until you actually see them die. And he just got sucked into the, like...
He got big sucked.
Yeah. Into his own, like, time-traveling device. He just got sucked in.
He was like, oh!
So what exactly is this, like... I'm a bit confused about the quantum realm.
It's like...
So I understand that it's, like, very small.
So like,
but what?
So like,
but does it exist? Like, is it like if I was on the floor and I like shrunk down to the size?
Yeah. Well, it's really small. So like, you would be in like a like basically like a whole new world, basically, but it's just really small. It's basically the theory that like if you go down far enough, it's another universe.
Right.
It's basically that theory, and like the technology that they made, the Pym tech, if you overuse it, it'll go because Ant-Man can shrink down and shrink up. If you go too far down, you'll shrink into that new world, basically. And yeah, you'll be on the floor, but you'll be so small, like you can't even be crushed with a foot, because like you're, like because technically we're not touching the ground.
Literally just traveled into another universe that nobody knows about.
It's basically another dimension, basically.
Okay.
And like,
I just wasn't sure, like, if it still existed on Earth, if it was like, if it was like actually another dimension.
It does.
I mean, I guess because it's quantum, it's like there and not there at the same time.
Like it's here, but I can't touch it, you know. But yeah, so now we can talk about Jonathan Majors. I thought his performance kind of overrated. I think he did okay. Mm-hmm. He's a good, like, I'm so angry, I'm crying. Like, he can do that really well. And like I felt like he was genuinely upset. You know, and yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I just wasn't really like.
I like the way he portrayed all the other characters at the end.
Okay, I fucking hated. Really? Okay, no. the like so at the end, they show like all the Kangs are getting together in like this council, and they're gonna get the people that exiled Kang because they're coming for them now, or they think they're coming for them.
Yeah.
So there's like this coliseum of Kangs, and they're all like different. They're all Jonathan Majors, but in different makeup. Mm-hmm. And like one of them is like an Egyptian pharaoh, and like he's like whatever.
The
and
other one is like a super.
Is like a cyborg, cyborg thing. And then one of them is like the guy that goes Glow de las Plagas from Resident Evil 4. He looked exactly like that dude, but he talks like this, and I'm just like, how long are you gonna keep that up, Jonathan? Because that sounds like that's bad on the larynx. I don't know. That's just a weird. They are coming for us. That's literally how he talked, and I was like, ew. Yeah. Why couldn't his voice just be like pitched down super hard to be like a Christopher Judge, like type? That'd have been cooler. It's just weird to see like a very menacing looking person be like,
yeah, that's fair.
Like the dude from Malcolm in the Middle. Hi. Need
Stevie.
Yeah, Stevie. My mom hated when we did impressions of him because she was like, "Don't make fun of him," and I was like, "She was like, don't make fun of people like that," and I was like, "I'm just making fun of Stevie. I'm not making."
Such a fucking good show, dude.
You can't. I thought a really funny joke, but yeah, I would say 6 out of 10.
It's a good score.
Yeah. It wasn't very funny. The action was kind of mundane. It was generic. I think it suffered from not being bad or good, just generic. I think I would rather something be so bad it's good or so good it's good. But I hate something that's generic. So like, and I heard that's what the new Mario movie is. That's why I don't want to see it. I heard it's just like generic Illumination, like what? Funny Mario movie.
Oh, Mario.
I really heard good stuff about it, but
it just looks generic to me.
I'm sure I would have a different opinion because I just don't like movies in general for the most part. So.
I don't really give a shit about Mario either, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, like
he wears overalls and he goes lasagna when he falls asleep in Mario 64. But
I mean, I like Mario games.
He's just never been like super.
I grew up. I feel like if I would have had a Nintendo first, I might would have been different. But my first console was a Genesis, so I had a Genesis, so my first game was Sonic 2. So.
Yeah. And Sonic was way past cool.
Yeah, I can't say I had a first console because since I had a brother, or I have a brother, my bad, who like he had his own stuff, and I just played with his stuff. So
the first one you touched, bro, that's your first console,
right? So I think I would have to say my first console was probably the PS1.
Well, me just saying that, then my first console was a 64 because my brother had one and I played that. So technically,
I guess mine would just change from a Genesis to a Sega Master System because that's what my uncle had. Nice. So
because like again, because of my brother, everything that we had was his. Right, it was his. So like, I didn't count it because I didn't feel like. I mean, I felt bullied out of it. It's like bullied.
That was a hard B.
Yeah,
that was some pain in that B.
it felt like I never really had my own thing up until like the PS1, PS2. Yeah, so I definitely see why I'm such like a fanboy of PlayStation.
That's little brother syndrome.
Yeah. PS2 is like the first console I bought for myself. But here's the thing. I saved up all the money to buy it. I didn't know sales tax was a thing when I was a kid.
Oh, damn.
And so I went in there and tried to buy it and didn't have enough fucking money.
Dude, I did that when I tried to buy like
I feel so bad.
I tried to buy like DLC for like my Xbox 360 online, and like I think my mom, I told her how much it was, and she said she had just enough for the amount I had on like this like debit or credit card or whatever, and I think it was like $5 or something, like that's what it said, or like $4.99. So I was like, well, $4.99. I mean, and I think she said like if it's under $5, you can buy it, because I told her it was like $4. That's what I told her. So she was like, well, if it's under $5, then you can buy it. I clicked it, I bought it, and it was like $5.26 or like $5.25.
Did you like overdraft her card?
I don't know, because she came in and saw me buy it because she wanted to make sure I put in the right stuff, and she was like, what are you buying? And I was like, the thing for the thing. And I was like trying so hard. I was like, just don't look at the total or anything. And she was like, give me that. she was like, okay, go ahead and get it or whatever. But like, yeah, I almost didn't get it because she was like, I thought it was $4.99.
I went back out to the car because my mom just like sent me in by myself to buy it, and like eventually like convinced my mom to like give me the rest of what I needed, but like it took some fucking convincing though. Like,
I mean, for like a $600 console though, it's probably like a
big but tax. He saved up literally for most of it.
Yeah, but the tax is probably like $30 or $40.
I think PS2 was
like $500. No. The PS3 was the most pricey one out of the four.
I think when I was buying it, I'd saved up like, it was either $200 or $250.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And it was not enough.
I'll do
but I was like so fucking excited about that shit, and like,
yeah. Nope. When I first got the PS2, I think my first PS2 game was Kingdom Hearts 2.
$2.99 is what the PS2 was.
Yeah, and so it dropped down some.
It probably dropped some, or maybe like the slim.
No, I still got it.
Oh, it's
like it still
the
works.
chunky one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you dust them bitches out, they'll work forever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My
still got the hard drive in it from playing Final Fantasy Online.
Damn.
I think my first PS2 game, it was either Sonic Heroes or it was Kingdom Hearts 1. And that was fun as fuck. And then I got Metal Gear Solid 2. I was like, oh my god. And then 3 came out. Bro, the PS... What a thrill! Bro, going from 2 to 3, Metal Gear Solid, like, the PS2 is capable of a lot.
Yeah,
like,
for its time, it was crazy.
Going from like Jack and Dexter to like Metal Gear Solid 3, it was like, like you could go, like graphics, size, length, like all that. It was like, how can you get that much out of a console?
And that's the crazy thing too, because Metal Gear Solid 3 was a very slow paced game.
Yeah, and then Resident Evil 4.
And then you had like Kingdom Hearts 2. That shit was fast paced as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the PS2 was able to hold that shit.
Yeah, like when you're fighting all those things and that.
Yeah, all the nobodies and all that stuff.
All that and zipping, like it never slows down.
Exactly. The shit was fucking...
But like Sonic Heroes would slow down sometimes if you went too fast. But like Kingdom Hearts 2 or Metal Gear Solid 3 wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I've always said it like, if I had to choose one console that I had to have forever, like PS2 easy.
PS2
it's got the biggest fucking
Gran Turismo 4,
really
Metal Gear Solid 1, well, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, Sonic Heroes, oh my god, Jack and Dexter.
Sonic Heroes was the
team one.
The team one. Okay, I was thinking the one I fucking love playing the most, Sonic Riders. I fucking love that shit.
Also PS2.
Yeah, I fucking love that game, dude.
Woo. Good stuff. Yeah, no, PS2 all the way. Honestly.
Yeah.
There was like 1,000.
I guess it also like benefits from kind of being in like back when companies like made good games and wanted to make good games.
Because there was like 800 cars in Gran Turismo 4. like, how do you get all those textures and all those engine sounds? Well, I mean, they did reuse them, but like, how do you get all those like all those vinyls, all those liveries, all those stats on a PS2? Like,
yeah, honestly.
And you could just drive anything you wanted, and like the loading didn't seem that bad either, or at least what I remember. Yeah. But I could go back and be like, because PS5 is pretty instant. So
yeah, like, PS5 is crazy fast.
I probably am pretty spoiled, but I think Sony. I don't think Microsoft can compete. I think they even said that
they said something about their exclusivities, that they just genuinely don't have any exclusives.
They said fuck
because they don't. Yeah. Literally, Xbox at this point is just relying on their Game Pass.
They got Forza.
Because they got great.
They got Forza and Halo, I guess.
Yeah.
They did have Minecraft, but not anymore. So like.
Yeah, that's true. It was a Microsoft thing only.
Is Destiny Xbox exclusive?
No.
Mm-mm. Halo is though.
Yeah. It used to be the same company back in the day, Bungie, I think.
And Halo Infinite.
And then Halo
Infinite bombed, didn't it?
343 Studios or something? Industries?
343 Industries?
Something like that.
343,
yeah. I think it might have started out as 343.
Is it? I feel like Bungie had something to do with Halo at some point.
Oh, no. I think they went... I think they started as 343 and then went to Bungie, didn't they? And then that's when Destiny and Halo started coming out together, right?
Well,
because Halo...
way before Destiny.
Yeah, but like...
Thought of.
But like, Destiny was kind of like a Halo... kind of similar.
Yeah, Destiny is very similar, I'd say, to Halo.
Because Bungie was making Halo and Destiny together at that point when Destiny was out, basically.
Depends on which Halo then, I guess, because
Halo Wars or Halo Infinite or something like that.
Oh no, Halo Infinite was way too new. Destiny came out way before Halo Infinite.
What about Halo Wars?
I don't know. That's like
that'd be like after Halo 3, I think.
I wouldn't say they'd be working on the same game at that. I don't know, honestly.
What about Reach?
Or maybe
Reach was older, wasn't it?
Reach was way older.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite. Did y'all hear footsteps? Okay. Studio is still occupied right now, so.
I wonder if it was footsteps or somebody knocking.
Oh, if it's that door, then.
Oh, they're doing construction downstairs.
Yeah, I did see a guy down there.
I heard an electric drill when I was down there.
Sawies.
But anyways.
If I was here alone and I didn't know they were doing construction, I would have got scared.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I think there's something like, it doesn't matter how old you get. There's something about like being completely alone somewhere that's like a little bit like, oh shit. Yeah. I think I would be less scared like outside alone somewhere than in a house. Mm-hmm. Like
because it's just corners and vantage points.
And fucking house starts creaking and shit. And you're like,
that's what. That's
here we go.
That's the one thing that got me about first moving here, and it still gets me. Because me coming from Florida, all the houses there are usually like pure concrete.
Yeah.
Right. Then here you got all these 1930 houses. You know, some
Concord old as hell.
Some have bricks and shit, but our house has wood flooring. Any time of day, anywhere, like whatever fucking time. Like, oh my god.
Bro, even like the house I live in, like it's fairly new.
Yeah.
And like still like be making all kinds of noise. It's like, and it's not like slow noise either. It'd be like, pop!
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Dude, my grandma's house. My grandpa built that shit in like the 60s or like the 50s. So like that house is pretty goddamn old. So like when you're there at night, at night, I remember like we would have sleepovers and like the couch, like the main couch is right in front of the kitchen, but like at night, you know, old folks, they turn off every light and it's just like it's just like pitch black.
In the back.
Yeah. Like they turn off every light. You can see it on the thing. It's like two little like rhythmic, but yeah.
You know, they turn like everything on.
So like it's pitch black into the kitchen, and you're just staring at this black void.
Yep.
And you would hear like like you would hear shit like that. Not that repetitious. Yeah. But she also had this ice maker that was old, and it would go like.
Ice maker would be making some crazy noise.
But hers would go like, and it was like,
what the fuck?
Because
was that releasing the water?
I don't know, but like it would go like, and then it would kind of go like, and I was like, and like I just hated looking into that void, that black void, and it's just like floor creaking, and it's just like tapping, and it's just like,
dude, That's exactly how my grandma's house is. As a kid, like, she still does it now. Like you were saying, exactly, carbon copy. They leave every single light off.
I can't do
Everything
that.
is pitch black. We have shutters on our windows because
we're getting construction done on our studio.
Because we get hurricanes a lot there.
Yeah.
So they immediately have that shit drilled onto the walls. But there's some rooms that have it completely closed off because they like the dark. So my grandparents have that in their room. They have that in one of the windows out in the living room. So when it's like 1 o'clock at night, it's dark as fuck. You're walking through that shit, dude. It's the worst. And for me as a kid, exact same thing. We had this ice maker, but it didn't make that fucking awful noise. Like ours, you just hear
the fridge is old.
You just hear the moment the ice drops into the bucket, but you would hear it throughout the whole fucking house.
Yes, and it would drop, and like the ice would move, and it would go like,
yeah,
and you're like, why?
Yeah. And like it would do that noise all the time, but like you would hear it through the whole fucking house, and it's what spooked me out.
And like we had 2 stories, or my grandma's house has 2 stories, and like because my brother would sleep upstairs, and my cousin would sleep upstairs too, because like when he stayed there, and like if he moved like even a little bit in his sleep, you would hear like from like the roof upstairs, or like the roof, but like his floor.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and it all came from the kitchen because he was above kind of the kitchen area. No, he was above kind of the living room area, but I guess the wood like settled in the kitchen, so it was just like
That's how yeah.
And I was like, please. And like if you it's scary because like if you sleep on this side, you're staring into the void. Right. But if you sleep on this side, your back is to the void. So it's like
there's no in between.
There's just no fixing it. So whenever we would do sleepovers, crazy. I would make the oldest. Like the oldest always slept there because everyone was scared to do it. Everyone, all my cousins, all my siblings, no one wanted to do it, so the oldest had to do it. Until you got that one like youngest that was dumb enough to be like, What?
I'll sacrifice myself.
They'll be like
to the demons.
Like they don't even know what ghosts are yet. So you're just like, nah, you take the big couch, and they're like, well, I get the whole couch to myself, and you're like, yeah. So in the night, when you hear, you just get up and run, because you know the youngest one is chop suey.
Yeah, I had to. In my grandparents, I had to sleep in what you call the void.
You had to sleep in the void.
I had to sleep in it. Bro. Because so.
We always kept a nightlight in the living room.
Obviously, like years later, we moved in. We moved out of my grandma's house because we all used to sleep at her house. Then one day, it's just one of those typical like trips down to Florida. She had already she had guests at the moment from Nicaragua, and so like my bed was just a bed on the floor in her room. So we'd just be sharing I'd be sharing the room with my grandparents. But then one day, she likes to stay up late, but this one night she decided to go to sleep early. I'm like, I'll stay up a little longer. I stayed up till like 3 or 4. So I usually left the door.
Stayed up to the witching hour?
But like they had turned off all the lights already. I only had the TV. So I'm like, alright, whatever. Turned off the TV, realized how fucking dark it was. So I'm like, alright, I kind of like
back on.
I left it off and used my phone and guided myself to her room. She fucking locked the room. I'm like, oh my god, and I didn't want to wake her up because it was already 4 hours like since she fell asleep. I'm like, I can't. So I was there and I went back to the couch. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay awake. I stayed awake till like 7 or 8 till my grandpa woke up, and then I went back. He's like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, you guys locked the door on me. Why didn't you knock? Because you guys were 4 hours into your fucking sleep. I'm not gonna wake you up.
That much of a story. One night, I was down at my grandma's, and all my cousins were there. And this was around the time when The Ring had come out.
Oh god.
So like, Blair Witch had already been out. Mm-hmm. So like, all that night, my cousin was doing this shit where they stand in the corner. And I was like, stop! Don't do that! And remember, when she would come out of the TV, The Ring, it would go, ooh. Yeah. And my fucking brother would be in the other room going, ooh. And he'd be like, you guys got to get in here, man. The TV won't turn off. And I was like, yes, it will. No, it won't. But like, he was a little prankster.
You like take the batteries out the remote?
He would have the wrong remote because it looked like the one in my grandma's room, and he would like, look, it's not working. And like, meanwhile, the whole time, my cousins are going, woo. But like I was like 7, so it was working on me. So like I was already scared because they were keeping me up, and then I didn't know my mom was coming to pick me up, because this around the time when she was meeting my stepdad, so they were going out on the town. Ooh. Not gonna.
Yeah, that was weird.
Not doing the moan for that one.
No,
I can't. I can't stomach doing it, but yeah. So they came in like at like 3 in the morning, or like maybe 3 or 4 in the morning to come pick me up, and I was the dumb one that was sitting on the couch staring into the void, and like that kitchen makes so many noises. If someone opens the door, you don't know if it's a door opening or if it's just like wood moving or whatever. So I was like, and then I just saw and then I just heard my dad's.
Take me away.
And I just heard my dad's like cowboy boot just. And I'm like, and then I hear my mom's heels, and I'm like, because I didn't know they were coming. I didn't hear their car pull up because my dad had that old Cavalier that was silent. So I was like, and I just saw this giant man. I just saw a cowboy hat. Couldn't see his skin. I just saw this.
This can go one of 2 ways.
It was pitch black, so I couldn't see his skin. And I just saw this cowboy hat and this long duster, and I thought Jeepers Creepers. What else would you think? And then he walked in, and he was like, and he came in with some McDonald's in his hand, and he was like, "Hey son, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, thank God." And then my mom was like, "Y'all sleep? Y'all sleep?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm awake." And she was like, "What about your sister?" And I was like, "No, she sleep." And was like, "What where your brother at? He upstairs." And I was like, my heart was like, because I wasn't used to. Well, I was kind of used to my stepdad by then. He was still very muscular and very intimidating. So I was still like, "Hey, sir, how you doing?" But yeah, I just saw what looked like in a locked Street Fighter character come in with a cowboy hat and just a long black duster. I just heard these heavy, fat footsteps. He just came in and was like, "Hey, got your McDonald's for you, son." And then my heart went back to normal. But yeah, it was terrifying. And that reminded me of like, if I was sleeping in there, like in the kitchen, like if it was that packed in the living room, I would have shit my pants. Because I wouldn't have been able to see him. I could barely see my mom, and she's white as Mariah Carey. So it was really dark in there.
Well, you reminded me of where you're saying, like, the time, The Ring came out and all that. Mm-hmm. Those movies as a kid didn't scare me.
They scared the living shit out of me.
The ones that scared me that didn't let me sleep at night were all the end of the world movies and alien movies.
For me, it was The Grudge and The Ring.
2012 fucking scarred me for life.
Really?
Like, as a kid, yeah.
Okay.
I was like 7, 8 years old when that movie came out, so I believed every fucking thing it told me.
I don't know. My little boy brain thought
and
the explosions were cool. I don't know.
No, like, that shit scarred me.
I mean, it is terrifying to think of, though.
And the one movie where, like, I'm pretty sure maybe one of you two have had that, like, sleep paralysis thing occur to you.
Yeah.
You, like, think you see something, too. So, like...
I feel like my sleep paralysis is a little bit different than the, like...
Oh, no, mine is always somebody in a corner of a room.
See, mine is, like... It's just... I've only heard, like, one other person talk about it, and it was just, like, it was on a podcast. To where, like...
Sorry.
It always would start with, like, me not being able to move. Right. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then
you feel like you have a weight on you.
Yeah, and usually it happens if I have something on top. Like, if I'm, like, have got, like, a body pillow laid over me because I like being all, like, comfy and shit. And so I'll, like, not be able to move. And then I'll be, like, trying to call for my girlfriend because I'm, like, freaking the fuck out. Like, damn, I'm, like, having a stroke. What the fuck's happening to my body?
Yeah.
And then it'll be, like, I'll hear, like, a really high-pitched noise. And then, like, not necessarily, like, an exploding sound, but it's, like, I'm, like, falling inward. Like, I don't know how to fucking explain it. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, mine is not like that.
Mine
is, like, I guess it's, like, the usual.
Like,
like, I have that weight on me, and all I can move is my head.
No, I can't.
And like I would be able to move my head, and anytime I moved it, all I would see is that black figure. But the black figure I see is, I don't know if you guys have seen it. You were about to say some shit. I saw you.
Michael Jordan. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. A black man in my house.
Oh my god, dude. It's fucking unbelievable. No, what I was gonna say.
He's going for my flag. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know if you guys seen that movie Signs with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, the alien movie.
Yeah, the alien. That alien was my sleep paralysis, and I'd see it constantly.
That movie fucked me up.
That
was scary.
Mainly,
but now
I remember being scared at the part where they're in the basement and they're like trying to grab to the thing.
Yes.
But the real thing that fucked me up
when he walked by the bush.
No, the Brazil scene.
When he's like moving the TV into the thing,
and
he like sees the reflection in it. And
oh my god!
For fucking years, anytime I would like shut the fridge door at my house, I would like shut it, and jump back at the same time because I knew there was gonna be some shit behind it.
Oh my god! I'm clenching my fist now because I think about that.
For me, it was the birthday party when he walks by him.
That's just fucking hilarious.
That shit scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I just remember all the kids like, oh, I had fun. Mina, look over there. You just see a fucking Sasquatch just like.
That shit scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. I hated it.
Yeah, no, that shit scarred me, dude.
But when I was
like, now that I'm 24, I'm like, this shit's fucking hilarious. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's dumb as fuck now.
It's stupid.
But this is, I think my sleep paralysis is very weird. Like I've never had anyone experience it, but like I get like sleep paralysis like once or twice a week.
Really?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that rapid. Like I get like it's not even scary anymore. Like I get the hallucination. Mine is like a really tall. It's funny because I don't know if I'm figuring something out now. Mine is like a really tall person with like a big, almost cowboy-like hat. It's like really, but it's kind of like those church hats, kind of.
Well, have you seen? It's the Benadryl dude, Benadryl hat guy.
I've never.
No, yeah, you're alone on this one, Chief.
I've heard the Benadryl hat guy, but it's like a really tall, like white-faced. I don't know if it's like a woman or a man, but it's like really, but like they're like white faced and they're like up to that globe, and they have like a huge like Lady D hat.
That kind of reminds me.
But it's black.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember playing Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
And there were those giant fucking monsters that had like church clothing on. That's reminding me.
Kind of, but not as beefy.
Right.
But like really skinny, and like
really.
Yeah, and like, but. It's only if I'm like having it while I'm up looking.
No way, that's a Benadryl ad.
Well, no, it's not an ad.
Oh.
It's like, I guess something people say they see.
Let me see.
Or if it's like if like they have like taken too much Benadryl or something.
What the fuck?
I've heard you can get fucked up off Benadryl.
Oh, I bet. I mean, that shit makes you like really like.
Kinda, but
Benadryl,
the face
like, knocks me the fuck out.
Like
kinda, but the face is white and it's like kind of like feminine. Like the face is kind of feminine.
Like it's Michael Jackson.
like I can't move, but I just hear in the corner.
Woo! But you just hear all the stupid little noises he makes when he's busting out a fucking move.
But it's like but like the face is like, it's kind of like if the face underneath was black, but they smeared white paint, so you kind of see the black coming through their face. So it's kind of like ash kind of on their face, but it's like kind of feminine. It's too feminine to be like a male face, but it could be. But it's like tall, and they're always kind of like leaning.
What the fuck?
Like they're never like standing straight up. It's kind of like they're like leaning, kind of like this, and they kind of go like this, like they lean. But I don't even care. Because like I have it so many times a week.
Like, bro, if you was really gonna do something,
I've only seen.
You would have done it by now.
I've only seen it like 3 or 4 times my whole life, and like every time it's like when I first saw it, I was because it was the first time I ever had sleep paralysis that I can remember, and I was just like, and like even when I stood up, I still couldn't breathe, and like I had to like look around and like make sure this was like real.
Yeah.
But like. Yeah, I have it like once or twice a week. Like I'll just sit there and just let it happen.
Crazy.
And like I'll just kind of move. Like I'll start with my toes, and then I'll kind of go up to my knees, and I'll kind of like like
regain
put myself out of it. Yeah, I'll kind of like push myself out of it. Yeah.
No, my first
like Latrice can't sleep next to me when I do it because like I have to like push out of it because like
breaking out your cage.
Yeah. So like I would just push her off the bed if she slept next to me. Or like the bed has to be big enough, and my bed isn't.
Fuck?
But yeah, it's like once or twice a week now. Like I don't even like not even scary at this point. I'm just like, oh, I'll get up in a little bit. Just kind of like.
Yeah, I think I kind of got used to it after like it happened to me like a few times. It only ever started to happen to me like within the last couple of years though.
I've only had it happen like twice to me. First time made me cry.
That's like, what people say, but like I never. I wish it was just twice. Yeah.
You should get that checked out.
I did. I was gonna say I did. I went to a sleep doctor, and I went to the sleep doctor.
You don't even know how to sleep, right?
I went to the sleep doctor, and we had like a little like normal doctor visit first, where I was in his like office, and he was like, and he kind of said, "Yeah, that just kind of happens. You just kind of got to get through it."
What the?
And I was like. Okay. And I mean, I was like 14 or 13 because I told my mom because I thought this was normal. I was like, yeah, you know, when you have it like once or twice a week.
There's a guy with the hat.
Yeah. And like, I told him about the hat, and like I told him about like having it once or twice a week. I told my my classmates, and they were like, dude, I've had that shit once in my life, and I'm 16. And I'm like, okay. And then I told my mom, and she was like driving the car. And like I heard her let off, like I could feel her let off the gas, and she was like, "How many times a week?" And my sister was like, "That's not normal." And I was like, "Oh."
So then we're going to church right now. Yeah.
So then they took me. Then they. That's what I've been seeing. So then. She stops driving, and the car just going off into the road like. Just like this would have been.
It's getting hot in here now.
Okay.
Yeah, this fucking hoodie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I went to the doctor, and he was like, "Yeah, that's kind of what happens." And then they did a sleep test where I went to sleep overnight in this place,
maybe
and
I got hooked up.
They like monitored me, and I don't know what the lady meant by this, but she was like, "We won't be recording you or like watching you, so you know, feel comfortable. Just get comfortable." And she was like, "There won't be any." That's a. She was like, "We won't be like monitoring you on like a camera or like or like microphone, so just feel comfortable. Don't feel watched." And she like left the TV on and everything because I couldn't get up because I was like hooked. And she was like, "What's your favorite channel?" Cinema. That would have been funny if I would have been like, she was like, "What's your favorite channel?" I said Nickelodeon, but I would have been like, I've been sitting like this, and I was like, Cinemax.
The late night shows.
And I was like, when it reaches 1:30, you cannot come back. But yeah, I don't know if that's what she meant, but she was like, yeah, don't feel watched, don't feel monitored. You're not on any cameras or any mics. We're just monitoring your heartbeat and everything. And I was like, okay, my heartbeat just spikes around 1:30.
I don't know, like, I feel like it's got to be something with like part of your body waking up, but like your mind's like still in REM sleep kind of or something. Like,
I think that's what it is. I think I also sleep really hard. Like for me, like because I slept through a car accident. Well, I wasn't in it, but like there was a car next to us, and it ran into another car, and I wasn't even fully asleep. I was just kind of like on the way to school, just like, and I didn't hear or see any of it. And then like I kind of got up, and my mom and my sister were just chit chatting, and I was like, what happened? And they were like, you didn't see that wreck next to it? And the thing is, I had my head against the window, so like I was looking out the window, and like I wasn't really asleep. I was just kind of like,
just an accident happened next
in front of me, and I didn't even see it.
Okay, I understood that you like went through and like
no.
got hit.
That'd be wild.
I put it like that to begin with. And I was like, no, that sounds off. Yeah. But I've slept through like storms, tornadoes. I've slept through like really loud people. Like it's I sleep really hard. So I think I sleep way too hard. And when I wake up, like my body's just like not ready. Because it's also really hard for me to get out of bed. Like it's really.
It is for me most days.
Like every every day. It's just like I just can't move.
I'd be like trying to open both my eyes, but they're like fucking jerking around. I'm like, now I'm like trying to look at my phone. Like,
I always follow the daily dose of sleep you should have. I'm like, I go to sleep like at 9:30 or 10. I still wake up groggy as fuck. Like,
I actually found that like,
nice, good.
No, I either need to sleep for like.
Did you kill it?
No.
Is it on you?
I either need to sleep for like 6 hours or like 10.
Yeah.
Like anything in between, I'm groggy as fuck.
For me, actually,
yeah, that's fair.
My sleep schedule was always off because I can only sleep for like 12 hours.
What the fuck?
Like every time I sleep, if I don't get like 12 hours of sleep, I feel groggy.
That's how I used to be.
A lot.
Yeah, dude, I sleep for a while. Like, dude, I will go like sometimes like 15, 16 hours and just like wake up and go back to sleep. Wake up and go back to sleep.
I can agree with what he says.
I'll just never feel rested.
Yeah, like there are times where I've fallen asleep and I've gotten like 3 or 4 hours of sleep and I have like a full day's worth of energy for some reason.
Yeah.
But like when I try to do the normal, like I'm dead.
8 hours is never enough.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like I need to sleep like for a fuck ton to have like any energy.
I guess it's something that I didn't really notice until I was teaching, and I would have to get up at like 5:30 in the morning sometimes, so I would sleep like 5 or 6 hours a night. But somehow I'd like be like awake as fuck most days. Like
that's how it was for me in like middle school. Middle school, like I don't know if maybe my sleep has something to do with the fact that like my mom didn't give a fuck about what she bought me. Like I drank. She's the type of person that if she sees that I like something.
Oh, my mom was the same.
She will buy me all that stuff. And in middle school, I was horrible when it came to Monster Energy drinks. Yeah. Like I tell myself, I'm surprised I'm alive to this day because
I was like
she would buy me like the full size cans that came in a 4-pack. Yeah. I'd down that shit, 3 of them a night.
That's wild.
And like I'd stay up till like 5 or 6. Bam, go to school right after.
It's crazy, like how like. When I was younger, I could stay up 24 hours, no fucking problem.
Same.
Like
do a full 24 hours.
Now, like I start getting towards 10 hours, I'm like, shit. I think that's about enough for today.
Like earlier when we were talking about like the whole Diablo thing, I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay up to like 6. I'm like, that's not gonna fucking happen.
If I do like one race in Formula 1, that's like half the normal thing. So like, 30 laps. I'm like. Yeah. But I need to get a race wheel for the PlayStation 5 so I can play it for 2023. But I won't get one.
When's that supposed to come
out? They're expensive. June 16th, but if you pre-order, you get it the 13th.
That's really.
That's like 1 month before their usual release.
I can't remember the company, but there's some company that's coming out with a wheel that's like super like slim form factor. Like I think.
What do you mean?
It's not gonna be like the driver and the wheel is like this fucking wide.
Okay.
Which kind of causes a problem too. Like the person I was watching review it, like because your hands are also so close to the desk that like you can possibly hit your fingers on it. But I think it's supposed to be like much more. I think it's supposed to be like way more affordable though.
I think I'll get that Sony Direct Drive thing because I just don't know what to get, so I'll just get whatever the fuck is compatible with my PS5.
Yeah.
So. And I'll get like a little Logitech shifter. Yeah. And hopefully that's compatible. But
I don't really think I have the space for that if I wanted to. Because you've seen my room and you've seen how my desk is. And it just...
Yeah, you've seen how packed my shit is. Like when I...
Yeah, but you have straight on though. My desk is L. I can't really like...
My race setup is...
side for it.
Yeah, mine's an L desk, but my monitors sit on the long end.
My race setup is kind of nice. You saw it though, right? I think you went in my room once, right?
I went in your room once, yeah, but I don't remember seeing a race setup.
I think I showed you it. It's like...
You probably did and I just forgot, but like...
It's like a cardboard box with like...
My room is like...
the Red Bull logo drawn on the side.
My room is like really... With like Max Verstappen like photoshopped on the porn actresses. My room is like really small. So like my chair is like right up against my bed. And then my desk is like right here, but it's like right at this level. and like my chair is a gaming chair, so I can like max it out, max, and I can like, and I think like I can put my my pedals on like a little box, and it's like right up against the wall, so like nothing moves, and I can just play. And my TV's right there.
Yeah, luckily I guess my pedals have like a thing on the bottom that like bites into the carpet, so it doesn't move at all.
Yeah, that's the problem with the pedals I got. They kind of just.
I still have a problem with like getting my wheel to secure to my desk tight enough. Like, you gotta really torque that shit down.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like driving and all of a sudden like it comes off partway and I'm like, there goes that out.
Yeah.
My wheel came off. Oh man.
What did we do? My wheel came off. The drive is shit. But
yeah, no, I'm thinking about getting one day, but I still need to get a bunch of other shit before I even decide to like get something like that.
Yeah.
And then again, I am thinking about spending almost like $200 on a fucking floor mat.
You know what I do need to get?
Yeah, I know.
I need to get out of this hot ass hoodie.
Yeah.
So I think that just about wraps up today's episode. We went over. It's 121.
Yeah, I was about to say I knew that was gonna be a fucking long one. I could tell after a while.
Like it. Wow. We
really
took most of it up with Ant-Man. Anyways.
No, we took most of it up with laughing at the kid in the beginning that was dumping his intestines out. But thank you guys for watching.
Yeah,
don't forget to like and subscribe. I forget to say that. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Subscribe for more. And if you do like the video, tell us why in the comments, because I don't know why anyone.
Get yourself checked out.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Dennis to give his final words. Don't scream.
I wouldn't do that. That's mean.
Well, pay it off. You were up to the mic.
I was just going to say bye.
Bye, guys. I love you. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.